welcome to watching Twin Peaks for the first time. I have been thrust into the role of announcing what we're doing today, and we're talking about Twin Peaks. I am watching it for the first time. Here I am.
Good job. Good job, announcer lady.
Thank you.
Hi, folks. Well, we are talking about 3 episodes today. Oh, you know what? Before I say anything else, we have spoilers. We talk about spoilers.
Yes.
So if you've not seen Twin Peaks,
what are you doing here? Get out of here.
So
go away.
You should definitely go and watch Twin Peaks and then come back and watch us.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about
Because we're cool and you should watch us.
Yeah. Well, one of us is cool.
No.
No. None of us is cool. Anyway, so yes, Leland Palmer has been laid to rest now, and so we're basically we don't have the mystery aspect.
Yeah.
At least not directly about Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
There's other weird, mysterious things going on,
are happening.
and so I'm going to get Mackenzie's reactions. And her opinions, because I want to find out how she thinks the show is going.
Yes.
And so I've got some images lined up for Mackenzie to look at and tell us about. And the first thing that is happening is that it tells us that this is 3 days later.
3 days later.
So 3 days after Leland's death. And now we have...
After following them like 24 hours a day. We follow like Dale Cooper, like we're just gonna follow him and follow this story, just like minute
you can count
for minute.
The day.
Yeah,
you can count each day.
And then it's like Leland's dead. Let's wait 3 days.
Yeah.
Till we do anything.
That's kind of I think that it feels like there's a breath of relief. That happens in this episode.
But there's probably not, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, there's probably a lot of paperwork they gotta fill out.
Oh, maybe.
They need to fix.
I just meant like emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
There's paperwork, yeah.
I mean, like, the break is probably because it's like, we gotta fix the fire extinguisher. We gotta clean up Leland's dead body. We gotta do an autopsy.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta do all this paperwork.
Around the station, they probably had a lot of work to do.
They probably had a lot of work. Oh, and also, Dale, you're under investigation. Because it's like...
Yes, so what do you think of this?
Well, we see this Mountie guy. He looks... Look, here's the thing. I know you've been saying, like, oh, he's crossing the border. That's crazy. It seems like all you would have to do is to be like, hey, headquarters, I need to cross the border to save someone.
But he apparently did not do
I don't know why he doesn't.
He didn't do that. Because it's international. It
seems like... Because, like, I was just assuming, like, he just went over. Like, he, like, told them, and then he went.
Well, he admits, he says, like, yes, I crossed the border, but, hey, I didn't do any of those bad things, like drugs and stuff like that you think
except
I did.
Hawk kills him.
But we're going to talk about that soon, but first we have to show what was at
Oh,
the funeral.
My God, it's so cool. We have vegetables for the first time. Leland's dead. Bob apparently is also maybe dead, and... the town can now eat vegetables.
Yes, so they show the food, and Mackenzie was so excited because she's been keeping track, and she does not, other than the creamed corn
that disappears.
Yes, she has not seen vegetables. And on the table they had carrots, they had corn, corn on the cob, they
had a salad.
Yeah,
there was real vegetables.
So life, or at least vegetables, have returned to Twin Peaks.
I'm excited about that. It fits into my theory, though. Like, the town's unhealthy, and, like, the first time we see a healthy food is there at his funeral.
Right, that's interesting. Yeah. With all those donuts and coffee and pie.
Yeah.
And bad hospital food.
Bad hospital food, and the salmon that has no side dish. I thought that was interesting.
So before the Mountie comes in to spoil things, there's this nice moment with the sheriff and Dale. And what did you think of this scene?
I liked it. I liked the little, like...
He's giving him a fly fish, if you can't, like a little fly for fly fishing.
It's nice. I liked it. But the weird thing about that was, like, it's like, okay, this season's coming to a close. TV show's going to be over.
Because it feels like they're just about saying goodbye. They're all lined up. He's shaking hands and saying goodbye.
Yes.
Hawk says, may the wind be always at your back.
Yeah. It's very nice closing lines, and then like "Papa" bust through the door, our Mountie friend.
So we're not done with you yet, Dale
the
Cooper.
FBI.
All right, so let's move on with more reactions. What do you think of this going on? Audrey and Bobby?
Bobby is being an idiot, as always.
Why is Bobby being an idiot?
He's trying to blackmail Ben Horn.
Mm.
And he's just kind of being dumb. He's like, I'm going to blackmail this guy who could hire someone to kill me for like $50.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you could hire someone to kill another person in this town for like very cheap. Like it's like a concerningly like common occurrence.
Life is cheap in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like it seems like Hank is just willing to like, $20, you got it.
Gotcha. So he might be playing a dangerous game by trying to blackmail and then trying to work for.
Yeah, and he's trying to blackmail using. Like, he knows Hank works for Ben Horn.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows Leo, who he got the tape from, was killed or, brutally injured by Hank. And he's like, yeah, you know what I'm going to do with this tape that I found about Ben Horn from Leland? I'm going to show it to Ben Horn as a form of blackmail.
Well, we've seen, Bobby, bless his heart, it doesn't always do the wisest.
Little heart.
He doesn't make the wisest choice.
He's not a smart man.
So there's the complications going on with the, he's the internal affairs, and the Mounties are angry.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of that's the main sort of, if there's a plot, that's kind of the main plot going on.
Yeah.
There's also some subplots going on in this episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of subplots.
It's a mellow. Oh, we didn't talk about Sad Boy James leaves.
Yeah. Sad Boy James got on his motorcycle right away.
Bye, Donna.
Andy and what's her name? And Dick.
Yes.
They're in like
Lucy.
They're trying to figure out who's the father, but they're not like.
So we've got that plot's going on.
Yeah.
And Nadine still thinks that she's a high school student, so she's enrolling in high school. And the Norma and her mom, and Hank and Norma's dad.
I don't think they go.
Not Norma's dad, but Norma's stepdad, I guess.
Third.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's those different subplots going on. Is there anything you want to say about them? We can talk about them more, but
they seem like nothing.
Nothing.
They don't seem like anything. They seem like we need something to do.
Yeah. Gotcha. So it's not very compelling television at this point.
Because and though I love the character of Nadine and she like freaks me out and I'm fascinated by her, mainly because I'm like,
you're quite disappointed that she's innocent.
What are we watching her for? Yeah.
Well, something weird is going on in the woods. So we have Major Briggs.
Yes.
Is out here, and he asks Dale if he's ever heard of the White Lodge. Mm-hmm. And Dale goes to use the bath. Well, I guess not, to relieve himself. The call of nature. That's right. And he's answering the call of nature.
Yeah.
Major Briggs disappears, it seems, and then there's the flash of light. There's also a shadowy figure within
and there's an owl before the
There is an owl, yes. So what do you think's going on there?
I feel like he might be going to that White House they were talking about. The president's? No, not the White House.
The White Lodge?
White Lodge.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's why they don't call it a house. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. So you think he went to the White Lodge?
Yeah. Or like something of that nature, like the next plane or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we do learn in a couple other episodes later after this one, when before Major Briggs returns, that they get a little bit of classified information.
They do.
I
love how fast he gives it away.
Yeah,
it's
just that's classified. But I can tell you this, right? So Dale Cooper's name is in that transmission that we saw with all the Googled up the numbers, and then we learn that didn't come from space.
Yeah,
it came from the woods.
Yeah,
and they don't know who it was like.
Who it's from?
Who's it? They don't know who it's from or who is trying to deliver it.
Right.
But they, I guess, intercepted it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Any ideas about what's going on there?
Well, if I jump to the last episode that we watched, he comes back in like full, like old-fashioned pilot gear.
There he is.
He looks like Amelia Earhart.
Yeah. Because he wasn't camping wearing that.
No. And so, like, maybe in some way he went to, like, a spiritual plane. Because I was like, did he time travel? But then I was like, I don't think so. I think it's more likely that he went to another plane of existence, the White Lodge, you might say.
Okay.
And then whatever was there kind of, like, WandaVisioned him. So it's like his clothes
to make him look like that.
To make him look, well, like, because he's a pilot.
Yeah.
And that's how he thinks of himself.
Okay.
So that might be, like, his own personification of, like, the clothes he was wearing. If he was in, like, a spiritual realm and then came back to the real world, kind of, like, physical world.
So he starts off here, dressed like this, crosses over into some other plane of existence.
Yeah. And then when he
because
comes
of
back,
his self-perception,
has
the pilot
attire. Like, that's how he, like, in his mind's eye, that's what he sees.
And that's interesting that it stays after he gets into this, back into Twin Peaks.
Right.
All right. That's pretty interesting. I like that. All right. Well, not Sad Boy James yet.
Not Sad Boy James. Oh my God, I love Ben Horn.
So Ben Horn has a breakdown. So tell us why you love him at this point.
Okay. So Ben Horn he's been cleared of a lot of things, basically. And in my mind, he's like, I kind of don't even blame him for the brothel. Like at this point, it's like, yeah, sure. He likes to have intercourse. I don't know what I'm just trying to say, like, I just mean, like, okay, he's like kind of a kooky, crazy guy.
Yeah.
And
so he owns a brothel.
So what?
So he tried to sleep with his daughter. He didn't know his daughter.
He didn't know it was his daughter. He also doesn't admit, like, he doesn't say that he slept with Laura. He said that he saw her there. He said he loved her. Yeah. And he doesn't say, I slept with Laura. We don't know.
The implication is that he sleeps with the girl, like some of the new employees.
But when he's like talking about her, he's like, I didn't know that the guy was going to be sending her over here. He did it without my knowledge.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like
what's interesting is I've always actually assumed that he did sleep with Laura, but it's interesting to think that it's possible that he did not, that he had some moral scruple about
no, Laura.
Yeah.
Like he kind of felt bad, but I don't know. He probably did. but
anyway,
I like him. I like his character.
Do you like his character more now that he's gone off the deep end?
I wish.
Or do you miss his powerful manipulative ways?
I think I like him more now that he's like, he kind of sees the world from a different perspective now. He's realizing like, oh, he was in contact with a person who was hurting Laura often, right? And that was also the person in charge of a lot of like moral decisions. So I could see how like the world kind of crumbles around you. This world that you've built up for, like he's built up for himself, and it's just like, as soon as he realizes, like, oh my gosh, Leland, not a good guy. This brothel thing falling apart. My daughter is found out. Yeah. Like, the moral compass that maybe he thought he had just, like, breaks completely. And he's like, oh, I'm terrible, is what I feel like he's feeling right now.
And here we have...
Oh my gosh, I love all of this.
Denise. Denise shows up. She's part of the... Actually, I don't know if Denise goes by
she or
she.
He.
I think she.
I think
the she pronouns.
She. The actor does not.
David Duchovny does not.
Yeah.
No. But yeah. So I think so. Denise was known by Cooper as Dennis originally.
Dennis. Yeah.
And now goes by Denise.
Yeah.
And what did you think of this? This exchange and.
I liked what we were talking about when it first happened. We were like, man, Dale Cooper really has some 2020 values. Because, like, as soon as Denise walks in, he's like, Dennis. And she's like, it's Denise now. And he's like, welcome, Denise.
Yeah.
And he just, like, skates over it. Like, no.
I think he's very accepting.
Yeah.
He does say at one point, it's like,
why did you do this?
Yeah, it's like,
what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
If you don't mind my asking. And Denise says, oh, no, I like talking about it.
And I loved when Andy danced with her.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Andy was
and he's
very
like,
happy.
Smile.
All right, now we'll talk about Sad Boy James in this plot. What do you think of that? What's going on? What's going on here?
So dumb. So Sad Boy James, leaves on his little motorcycle, meets this woman, and he's like, "Oh, you're married? Fantastic. Let me flirt with you and come home with you." And that's about it.
Yeah. So he's gonna fix the car, and she's gonna fix him.
Have we seen him work on a car?
Yeah, he was working. He was sitting in the car, and they kissed.
No, but I mean, like in the past, like it's not a feature about him.
His uncle does the garage.
Gas station.
Well, I think he fixes cars too.
All right.
In Twin Peaks, your gas station fixes all your cars for you. And,
I like the world of Twin Peaks that just happens. Yeah.
Other things that are going on. There's this. The Black Widow lady, right?
Yeah,
she might be a witch or is cursed.
Oh, but that's in the third episode.
Yes, well, we're skipping.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Because
the second episode didn't have much in it, anyways.
Yeah. We're going fast.
Yeah.
So her husband dies on the wedding
where
night.
we see we meet.
Yes, and so the elderly brother is quite angry.
Yes,
and thinks that she's a witch or cursed, and then all the male characters at the police station are then eventually gathered around, listening to her talk and having a glass of milk.
She's a witch.
Yeah,
I don't know what like. I get that she's like a young woman, and then that he very old, 110 is what they say.
I think they were joking, but he's very old.
I think that he really is 110
maybe he is. Okay.
Because. Like like in the story, because anytime they say something, they don't really joke about stuff. They're not exaggerating.
All right, there's no sarcasm.
I don't think
in Twin Peaks.
In Twin Peaks.
Oh, so Dale flips a coin. He's thinking of real estate, and it lands on some photos. And this, to me, I want to get your opinion, but this to me is this is where it starts getting interesting.
Yes.
Because I like the underworld aspect of Twin Peaks. And what were your thoughts?
I liked that. When we go to the house with the cocaine and the baby laxative, that was very fun.
Cocaine, the baby laxative.
Laxative. And then, I liked that. But what I found more interesting is when we stopped to look at the newspaper, they had something from a pen pal.
Yes.
And she was saying "Oh, I live in a cabin, and all I have around me is not much to see, just a bunch of white stuff." And to me, it's "Oh yeah, snow," but also we just went to a cabin that has a bunch of cocaine and baby aspirin.
Yeah, so pay attention. We're talking. I didn't get a screenshot of it, but it's with the chess coordinates that are being delivered by Windom Earl, his old. Partner
that guy's in. I don't know what I'm supposed to expect from that guy.
Well, I don't know that we've seen him.
I don't know that we ever will.
I think it will. Do you predict it'll just be chess coordinates?
I kind of feel like it's not gonna
develop.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it might develop, but I'm also not holding out on a limb. Oh, we're gonna see
because
this
guy. Twin Peaks lasted just 2 seasons.
Yeah. And so we're almost done with this.
It's I'm not going to get attached to any of these plots going on.
No.
All right. Well, what do you think of poor Josie's plot?
Oh, Josie. Okay, Josie's interesting. On the one hand, I'm okay, I feel a little bad for her. And I'm glad that she's back in America. It seems like it's probably a better situation than being drug around by whoever that guy was.
Yes, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Or whatever
if that is his real name.
Whatever his real name is.
Yeah. Brother.
Cousin, evil henchman.
Yeah. Yeah, so it seems better off
do
here.
you think that because Catherine has got sort of power over her right now?
Yeah, and her brother's alive.
Yes, Catherine's brother is alive.
Yeah.
Who is Josie's husband that she kept talking about
that she thought she killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's wild.
Yeah. And what's interesting, actually, is he's not only alive, he's in the house.
Yeah,
she's a maid right now, so you'd think she'd stumble upon an extra pair of
I wonder if he's a ghost.
Oh, he might be a ghost. And that she's talking. Well, what did Catherine say to the sheriff about being in the woods?
That somebody was, helping her, a guardian angel. So maybe she's just, seeing him now. That could be it. And he's guiding her this is what you should do. Because she hasn't told her husband, who she seems to be have a lot better relationship now. Because she's not with Ben Horn anymore.
Yeah.
And it seems like she's I feel like she probably would tell him, like, hey, guess what? He's alive. Or he would be like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
He's in here.
Gotcha.
He's in this room? That's
so you
crazy.
think it's possible that it's something supernatural going on?
I think so. I don't know.
I like hearing your
I
that's why I'm doing the show. I like hearing what you come up with. All right, last thing to talk about from the show is Nadine making the Twin Peaks wrestling team.
Oh my god, so
what do you think's going to happen with the wrestling team plot or the
I feel like nothing is going to happen.
Nadine?
I feel like a lot of he said she said bull is going to go on.
Yeah.
Because like every time we're with Nadine, she does something and like it's crazy, but like nothing happens. It's another one of those things where like everyone in the town is like, yes, she can be a 16-year-old girl. That's fine. We've accepted this. This is what it is. Which makes me laugh because it's like, yeah, Nadine can do this. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. And then, you know, Denise comes in and they're like,
this is
Denise. Denise wants to sit at a table with me.
It's true. On the one hand, like they have small town values, but they're like, we're fine with this.
This is fine. This is absolutely fine. Yeah. If you're from the town of Twin Peaks, anything can fly. Anything is possible.
Especially if Nadine throws you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we went through those 3 episodes. I don't know if we're like missing important details, but I feel like we've touched upon some of the key things.
Oh,
yes.
An important detail that has no importance is that inside of the Major's house is an owl lamp.
Oh, yes.
It's a white owl lamp, and I loved that.
Which is interesting because the owls are not what they seem. Right?
Ominous.
And so the Major and the other Air Force personnel have mentioned owls.
Right. And they're like, what's an owl
So
around?
it's interesting that there's an owl lamp.
So I feel like maybe it kind of makes me think that owls probably, even though they are not what they seem, I don't know that they're like evil or nefarious in nature.
Yeah. It doesn't say like beware of the owls.
Yeah, they're just like, they're not what they seem.
They're not what they seem.
I don't know how he got his ring back before we figured that one out though. That's throwing me for a loop. Because it's like, oh, here's your ring back. But, like, we don't know what the owls are. We don't know why.
Maybe he believes him.
I guess. It's like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
I guess that would work.
I guess that's work. Well, speaking of props and set decor, I found out more information about your least favorite. Look at that. Look at
what is it?
So it's a cookie jar.
Oh, God. You can take off its head? Oh my god!
Yeah, so it's a cookie jar, and it's a brand called Twin Windom.
Interesting.
So the name has twin in it.
That's really weird.
So Twin Windom cookie jars.
We gotta buy.
I think you can buy one for like $40 or $50, but so they come and go on eBay. So yeah, I'm gonna keep looking for it.
Get one of those. Oh yes. Cursed thing.
Yeah.
What? I love it.
It's funny. It's like the Twin Windom cookie jars. I was looking at a lot of them are like kind of teddy bear like.
Yeah.
And they have another duck that looks like a normal duck.
But not that one.
And squirrels and things. So many of them look cute, but something's hideous about this.
Well, it's terrifying.
And now that you know, I almost don't like talking about the actors and other things that they do, but we did mention that Frank Silva, who plays Bob, got his start as doing like the props and the set decoration. So it's quite possible, as somebody said in a chat, that Bob or Frank Silva selected this.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah,
I really like the actor who plays Bob. I think he does a great job.
Yes, there's something about him that is wicked and sinister.
But he also like if I met
the character's having a good time.
Yeah, but if I met like the actor, I would be like, I'd want to talk to him about like just props and like set decoration.
If I met the actor, I would want him to like talk because I'd want to hear that he's like a normal person. Because if he was just silent and he was just smiling at me from across the room. That would be terrifying.
True. That's true.
So I would definitely want him to talk.
Like if I looked over and I thought it was maybe a mirror, and it was like, oh no, I'm Bob.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would allow him into my house until I had talked with him a couple of times. No, because remember, you're not supposed to let him in.
Yeah.
That's what Leland does.
Yes.
You come inside.
Yeah.
Don't come inside.
That's right. Okay.
Not allowed.
All right. Well, that's enough Twin Peaks talk.
Anyway.
We will see you guys.
Oh wait,
yes.
actually, I wanted to ask
Mhm.
because Sonia, our good
Oh,
friend,
yes.
who's been watching.
Hi,
these.
Sonia. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you. If you still are.
Yeah, if you still are.
You don't have to.
Mhm.
But she was asking like what are our favorite Twin
Oh,
Peaks
yes.
characters.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Twin Peaks character?
I think right now, although I haven't watched all of it, so it might change. Currently, I like the Major.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dale Cooper, but that's a given, right? And then I also like Jerry Horn. Like way too much. Every time Jerry Horn's on screen, I'm like, this is the guy. This is who I want to be. Without, the drugs.
Yeah.
But I want to be that guy. Yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
I love Dale Cooper. And I have, at least when I was watching the show originally, I have a crush on Shelley the waitress. I think, even though that as a character, she and Bobby she doesn't make good choices. All right.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Well, that's enough Twin Peaks talk.
Yes, we gotta go watch another.
We're gonna go watch some more because we're cruising through to the end of season 2.
Gotta get there.
All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.